everyone, welcome to Perpetual Arcana's YouTube channel. I'm Stephanie Rose and I'm going to show you some of my great vintage mysteries I found around Southern California. So, the first thing I'm going to talk about is this lovely little basin with pitcher. This is by McCoy, which is a US made ceramic, and this dates to about between the 40s and 50s. It's a cute little shape to it. I really like the lines that are coming off the handle here and also off of the pitcher. So, and it's in this bright golden yellow color, so it's very happy. The handle does have a tiny couple little chips here, so this will be priced accordingly on the Etsy shop. But overall, it's a great piece and I had to bring it home. The next item I will talk about is this beautiful Edwin Knowles China Company crescent shape. I believe it's bone china. It could be porcelain, but I'm not sure. It has beautiful gold edging to it with a pretty little floral motif. And it was just a really neat little crescent shape. I looked up the origins of this plate. And it seems that the Celestial line came out at about 1955 and the company shut down in the early 60s. So this is definitely mid-century vintage ceramic. The next item I will talk about are these beautiful brass trivets, or trivets, however you'd like to say that. This is by Mann, M-A-N-N, made in Korea. I have had a hard time figuring out when these were made, but I did find one on Etsy that has similar feet, and it was claiming to be from about the 1970s. So I have a beautiful one here that has some moons and stars, and then I have a second one here with the same feet, similar stamps. It's stamped solid brass on both, and this one has just a kind of a central star theme. So I really liked those, very celestial. The next item I have today is this beautiful wood popsicle stick basket. And I think it's pretty 70s based on the beadwork and kind of this boho look to it. This one was about $4. And I'm sorry I don't have pricing on the other ones here. They were part of like bulk purchases from a vendor, but some of these I do get from thrifts, and this one was from the Salvation Army, so it was priced at about $4. It has a little tiny popsicle stick that needs some work, so I'm going to find some glue and get that one back together, but overall it's in really great condition, and I thought what a fun little, console tray, or just something to throw your keys in when you get home, and it's just really fun, sort of vintage 70s theme. The next item I have for you is a little Majolica leaf. So Majolica is a lead-based ceramic. It has a high glaze on it. This one is not stamped, so it's likely American or from the United States. It looks to be a Holland mold shape, but since it has no stamp, I'm not sure who made it. But lots of crazing on the bottom here, so it's likely from the 50s. But this was the first piece that I picked up. I picked it up for $1 at the at the Goodwill outlet. And it had some chips on it, so I did my first handy restoration work with some watercolors on the ceramic, and then I sealed it up with some just plain clear lacquer, nail lacquer. So that was my first attempt at doing a restoration work on Majolica because it tends to chip when it's this old. But, considering that it's not really chipped on the front, or if it was, I sealed it up so well you can't really tell. It's a great little piece to either hold a candle or to add to someone's set where they have a really broken one and they just want to replace it to complete the set. When I was growing up in Thousand Oaks, my mom collected Majolica, so I have sort of an eye for it, and now I have a love of my own for it. Another Majolica piece I picked up recently is this beautiful green egg dish. And I don't know why, but on the table today I have a lot of green Majolica. This one has slots for 6 eggs. And when I looked at it in the store, I noticed that there was some pretty good crazing on the bottom here, which told me that it was pretty old. It does say that it's made in Italy, so this is Italian Majolica. It's got that high glaze, really, really shiny. I liked the kind of pitted work that's on the bottom here that for the portion that holds the eggs. And then it's got this really pretty kind of rope motif going around it. And then some cute little things on here, like a little chicken and a sun with a little house in the background, a little farmhouse. And it says uova fresche. So I'm pretty sure it means fresh eggs in Italian. So that's a really neat little piece. I have a second moon dish I forgot to talk about. So that is a pair, and this one has some good crazing on it. But there's those up close too. Sorry, I forgot to do that earlier. The next piece I'm going to talk about is this wonderful plate. This is a Googly doll. They were popular from about 1912 to 1914, and pretty much every doll maker had at least a couple that they put out. But she is a plate, and she is a picture of this Googly doll. And the title of this plate is Dear Googly, and it's from the doll collection by Mildred Seeley. She's stamped 1981, and typically I don't pick up collector plates, but she was just talking to me that day, and she's so kitschy she had to come home with me. I actually purchased this plate back in July or May of 2019, and it sold in July. And then recently I was at a thrift and I saw her again, and I had this feeling that I had to take her home. So she came back. She's back. So yeah, she's kind of a neat little, great conversation piece to have at home. All right. The next item I'll talk about is this wonderful Odagiri Owl. Isn't he happy? He's got these great big eyes and a great expression, and he's sitting on a little branch with a little leaf over here. He's got a little bit of wear on his feet, and he's got a little chip on his head right over here, but overall, the aesthetic is really nice. A couple more little chips on the back here. He is a giant cookie jar, so imagine coming home from school and getting some Oreos or some delicious chocolate chip cookies out of him to reward yourself for your hard day at work or school. Now, the bottom of him, he's stamped Odagiri 1981, and Odagiri is a Japanese ceramic maker. There's even the original stamp on there, so I was really happy to find that. And I did pick him up at a thrift. I think he was about, I want to say $5 to $7, and I think that they sell for around, I don't know, 18 to 20 on eBay. So he will be on my Etsy store also very soon. The next item I will talk about is another Majolica piece. This is probably one of the larger Majolica pieces I've picked up. This is a Cabbage soup Tori, and unfortunately I did not have the ladle that is supposed to insert here. I believe it's a white ladle. And overall, this piece is in great condition. It's got very, very fine little chip marks here, and it may have been touched up by someone. But overall, it looks great. Everything looks very clean on the inside, so no stains or anything. And on the bottom here, there's some wear to the ceramic. The glaze is missing in certain areas. And one interesting thing is I can't find a stamp for this one, so I don't know if it's Holland mold. It's definitely not, or likely not imported from anywhere, because there's no other Italian stamps or anything like that, or Portugal stamps, which is another kind of common one that I'm seeing when I do a reverse image search. So this is likely made in America. I heard from someone on one of the groups I belong to that it could be very old, like maybe in the 30s or 40s, but I have no way to date it. So if anybody knows anything about this wonderful cabbage soup tureen, please leave a comment. It's greatly appreciated. This one I picked up at the Goodwill thrift for about, I think it was $5, and they definitely go anywhere from $20 in the upwards to $60 depending on the condition and who makes it. So it's very important that I identify this so that I can put it in my store. Okay, the next thing I'll talk about is this wonderful little glass box that I found at a junk shop in Orange County. It definitely has some beautiful brass lined squares to put the glass together, and then it's fused. Right now I'm storing some crystals in it that will also be up on the shop. I'm starting a new sort of like metaphysical section of the shop, and today is definitely a special day for celebrating some crystals. Now, speaking of pretty glass things, this one is a vintage spirit bottle, and I believe it's from about the 1950s, and one thing that makes it kind of special is on the bottom it says federal law forbids sale of this bottle. So the stamp on here basically tells me it's about mid-50s, so I'm going to try to put that up so you guys can see it. Let me take out the lid. So that's kind of a fun little thing to have there. It does have a cork portion on the top so that the lid can seal nice. But overall, I thought it kind of looked like a genie bottle, and I was a big fan of I Dream of Jeannie when I was a kid, so I had to have it. This will be on the shop very soon. I think that they go anywhere from $20 to $50, and I paid about, I want to say $10 for it. But I really liked the purple color and the lines of it. It's just a very cute, kind of Hollywood looking piece. The last thing I have for you today, and I have actually, I think 2 of these. It's a thumbprint carnival type glass. It's an iridescent glass that has a pretty purple kind of bubbly sheen to it. I don't have any of the cups that came with this one, and I'm not sure if it's a Indiana glass or a Hazel Atlas. I have no idea. So if you have an idea, please feel free to share in the comments. Okay, everyone. I'm Stephanie Rose. Thank you so much for watching Perpetual Arcana's first YouTube video, and I hope to put out another video next week.